In this video, I'm just going to talk about whatever. I'm really trying to move some sexual energy. I've been doing semen retention. I've been really retaining a lot of sexual energy, and I just want to let it move. And so that's what this video is. It's just me talking, letting this energy kind of maybe release, transmute. So however it wants to come through in this video, it's just going to come through. I just really wanted to feel into my heart and start saying some things and see if this will help this energy find kind of a balance, a harmony. Because I noticed when I start building my sexual energy up, after 4, 5, 6 days, I just really start to feel really overwhelmed. I think this has a lot to do with, sexual energy is rocket fuel for Kundalini energy. And so already with Kundalini energy active, there's so much energy going on in the system. There's so much karma already being burnt up, so much evolution happening in the consciousness. I mean, it's already quite a fire with just Kundalini going active. And so when we start doing something like retaining our sexual energy, it's just kind of like some real fuel to the fire that's already burning pretty hot with Kundalini. And that's something that I play with here and there on this ascension journey, on this awakening journey. I often will see how long I can go without releasing my sexual energy until it just becomes too much of a fire, until I feel like I'm literally going to explode. And then that's when I'll release. Because I do feel like the sexual energy does have some very purifying and healing qualities to it. So there's a curiosity in my consciousness to explore this dimension of energy. And I love how when it's flowing through me with what feels like purity sometimes, how that is it's so fun to just explore life from that place. It's so fun to explore life with an open sacral chakra. It's like sacral chakra magic. When your sacral chakra is open, life can feel very magical. You're just in this very giving state, and everything feels so full. It's like when your sacral chakra is open and you're just flowing through life like that. It's like this feeling of I could never have sex again. It's totally fine because you're just so full on your own sexual energy. It's just like every time you're just like, here, you have some of this, you have some of this, and while you're giving, you're the receiver of the giving. It's like this self-nourishing movement when the sexual energy is really flowing through you. And just owning that you're a sexual being, right? This whole world is made up of sexual energy. The sexual energy in our bodies, this is the energy of creation. And so, yeah, I just thought, I don't know, I wanted to just flow into what does this energy wanna say? And I felt like I did it really good there for 3 minutes. And then I started thinking. And I think that's something that happens on this path is we become a conduit, and then sometimes the spiritual ego can sneak up and try to stake its, I'm the thing, I'm the conduit, I'm the whatever. And that can lead us into overthinking. And that's something that I vibe in and out of. It's just being this pure empty space for spirit to speak through, and then going a little bit into the spiritual ego dimension of this experience. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I think that's normal, and it's something that hopefully over time it just starts to fall away more and more, and I can just become more and more blank. I can just become more and more of a conduit, an empty conduit for the Divine Mother, for Spirit to bring her channeled messages through. And that's my intention with doing things like retaining my sexual energy. I can feel how it just really helps the Kundalini even burn away so much of the false self, the limiting beliefs, the really heavy, dense, stuck stuff, like the dense shame. I can see how it helps bring up some rage, some grief, some hurt, there's so much pain that this sexual energy starts to really illuminate and starts to really bring to the surface. And so that's why I love to play in this dimension with harnessing this energy for as long as I can, before it becomes like really too dysfunctional, you know? Because sometimes if we go too long, it can, and we don't have the awareness and the spaciousness yet required. And this is talking specifically like with Kundalini awakening going on. I feel like it's just 100 times more intense when you start to try to retain sexual energy when there's already, like I said, the life force of Kundalini pulsing through your being. And so, yeah, it's like a really beautiful practice. It's something that I'm getting better at even. I don't want to say I'm getting better at it, but it's like there's more and more space. There's two things, like there's more and more space and there's less and less shame in my body. I've had so much shame entangled with sexual energy throughout my life. I've had this like unconscious belief that sexual energy is bad, it's dangerous, it's something we should feel guilty over. I shouldn't have this much sexual energy, and I've had this I've had this somatic shape with sexual energy, like a shame shape. So when sexual energy would be like coming up in my being, of course it would like get stuck, and it would come out in distorted ways because I wasn't open with it, I wasn't free with it, I wasn't saying, oh my gosh, I love that I'm a sexual being, I love that I have sexual energy. And this is the shape we want to take with sexual energy, with the sacral chakra. We want this openness so that this energy can flow. And I feel like now more than ever, I love that I'm a sexual being. I love that I have sexual energy to share. It's like the sexual energy, God wants you to share this with the world. Like this is a gift, right? And sometimes like the unconscious beliefs are, if we open in the sacral chakra, if we let our sexual energy flow, then we're just going to go like drool on everybody, or we're going to go hit on everyone, or we're going to try to go have sex with everybody. But that's just not the truth. Like what I'm discovering is the more awake we become and the more we let this sexual energy flow, there's a dimension of intelligence and wisdom when this energy like starts to flow. Like you'll notice like you'll be with someone and you'll just be open, you'll let your sexual energy and your sexual nature just be fully there, and this energy, it transforms to meet whatever that connection is calling for. So some connections, this sexual energy, it just transforms into healing energy. Others, it transforms into like a silliness, a playfulness. You're just having fun. Sometimes it can transform into like this clarity, this seriousness where maybe some real wisdom is needed. And then sure, some relationships where the relationship aligns on all 7 chakras, maybe this energy does want to express in a sexual way when there's that compatibility on all levels, not just the sacral chakra level. So yeah, I've just been playing with the sexual energy recently, just having fun with that, just letting it really illuminate my being when I'm out in public around people. Just like sharing it, just like, yeah, letting it flow and noticing how, like I said, it flows with such intelligence. Like some people, like I said, it's just, and the mind, like I said, it's so funny what the mind tells you. The mind says, and it does the same thing with anger too. The mind says with anger, you let this anger come up, you're going to get in some trouble here. You don't have the space for this anger. And it does the same thing with sexual energy. It kind of says, oh, you better not let this flow because, you know, you're going to get in all kinds of messiness. But I found that quite the opposite is the case. It's just this very giving energy, this creative energy, this fun energy. It just wants to explore and discover. And I find like the more I let this energy flow, the less I actually even like crave sex. You know, the less I'm like, oh, I need sex, or less needy about it at all. I just feel so full when this energy's flowing through my being that it's not even necessary to like seek out sex, because sex is happening in every moment in my being. Like I'm just making love to life in every moment when the sexual energy is flowing, you know? So it's so beautiful, like how that is so different than the mind, those unconscious belief systems that maybe we grew up kind of just inheriting. It's so different. It's like this sexual energy, it has the intelligence of creation itself. It's like the intelligence of God, you know? And it's always going to flow towards harmony when we start to do the inner work of untangling our shame that we have about our sexual energy. like I said, I think I know I had this unconscious or subconscious belief of, oh my gosh, my sexual energy is bad. It's dangerous. It's not good. And I know this goes back to some of the traumatic situations that I've had regarding sex, and how those situations were caused because of all the shame that I inherited just in my conditioning around like sexual energy and free expression, and just being open. And so, yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and kind of just give like kind of a raw, authentic share of something that I dabble in. And, you know, just kind of just like let this energy just like, I just was like feeling like so overwhelmed by it again. And I was like, okay, what happens if this time if I just get in front of a camera and I just start talking and I don't have any idea what I'm going to talk about, but I'm just going to let this energy flow. So you might notice that this video is a little faster paced. It's because when this energy gets worked up in my system, like my system tends to go a little bit faster. But I can already feel just how speaking these words and kind of just being real honest with you guys, it's even releasing more things around the sexual energy that I was maybe afraid to talk about, or maybe had some shame to talk about. And I think that this is a really pivotal, like, kind of breakthrough in my awakening process, being able to like really start to you know, like embrace my sexual energy and to let it flow through me. And it's like, feels like it's not even mine, it's just flowing through me. It's just like a dimension that I'm now just allowing myself to experience. And it's just like, yeah, it's like not mine to like possess or something. It's just like this energy that's like happy to flow through me and out, and just wants to flow through and out. And it just keeps like, and it's like this self-sustaining type of flow when we release our fear of it and our shame about having it. And we just say, yeah, I'm just gonna like be open with life. So I just love you all a lot. And I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, I don't know, it's late here. I was like up in the middle of the night. I was like, I can go a lot of different ways with this energy in this moment. Let's see if we can channel this into something that might help people, that might give people some liberation around their sexual energy, that might maybe give you guys kind of that permission to open in your sacral chakra area, to see that your sexual energy is not bad, that it's a beautiful energy, that it can express in many different ways. And that when we open there, you know, like I said, it doesn't mean we're going to just go sleep with everybody, because it's amazing how the intelligence of this energy, it actually steers you to do quite the opposite. And you get very selective with who you sleep with. I've noticed that on my own path. The more I release shame regarding my sexual energies, the more everything really has to be like on all levels. Like I said, in all 7 chakra centers, everything has to be a yes for actual sex to occur. And I think that's a huge discovery I've had about how we can be open in our sexual, like with our sexual energy, and people actually feel even more safe around us. That's one of the coolest things. I can feel that when people are in my presence now, how they feel even safer around me, because I'm just so open. You know, there's nothing being hidden. But when I had this somatic shape of like shame with my sexual energy, there was a little bit of stuff being hidden there, and people can feel that, at least subconsciously. And so they're like, oh, he's not safe with something in his body, like with an energy, with something going on there, you know, and they can kind of like, they just kind of mirror that guardedness to you. And I feel like I had a lot of guardedness with my sexual energy, especially in my 20s, especially before Kundalini. And it's really only kind of sort of recently that I've really stepped into this place where I'm just not guarded about it anymore. And I'm just like, here it is, you know, let's see what we can discover with this together. Let's see what this energy wants, you know, to bring into our lives. Like what kind of, you know, gifts it wants to to bring forward in this presence. And it's been really wonderful, and I hope that this helps you in some way. Yeah. Yeah, that feels good. I love you all. Namaste.